your career arc is you're not a biologist, you're not a biochemist, or actually you started your career working with I believe it's the Trade Commission, right? The Global Affairs Canada, and then you had a long journey within the tech space. Like how did that all happen? That's amazing, Handel. And now of course you're part of the one of the most preeminent AI companies, at least in the biotech space in Canada.
Well, that's mainly because there are, I think, only two or three of us in Canada left. That
I
said,
didn't point that out. I didn't want to point that out, but fair
that's
enough.
okay. I mean, Recursion came in and bought two of us like on the same day, right? So, you know, like Cyclica and Valence. I'm frankly surprised there aren't more companies in Canada doing what we do, and we're always like there should be more companies. Um, and I mean, we would love to have more people in second, third, and fourth place. But that was a joke, of course. But going back, like I have no idea how my career took me to this area, but if anything, I think that really, if I were a VC investing in deep tech, my question would be like, why are you doing this? And I think that I finally, after a long period of time, I've realized that really, if you want to make science fiction a reality, then you should go into deep tech, right? Anytime you're trying to do something that sounds so, wild and advanced and difficult scientifically or technologically, where you have a tremendous risk of failing in making the product, that's deep tech. And the impact has to be so great that the business model kind of almost makes itself. Like you don't have to worry about it. Like if I could turn sand at the beach into gold, then I don't have to worry about selling it. Like that'll take care of itself. Whereas typically in tech, your biggest risk is not in the development of a product. Everyone can make an MVP. You can make a layout on a chip. Question is whether or not customers are going to buy it, right? And so there's more of a market and adoption risk versus a technology risk. Certainly there are things in the middle, but deep tech is like I'm going to make a transporter beam. And you're like, you know, imagine the applications. I'm like, yeah, okay, I can, but it's impossible unless you do it, right? So for me, I've always been drawn to the difficult, and I find that the more difficult the science or the technology, um, the harder it is to explain it and to translate that science into language that most people can understand. And not being a scientist and not being an engineer or an actual technologist has made me break down these concepts to a very simple set of analogies or models or concepts that I can then use to explain to pretty much everyone who wants to give us money or who wants to acquire, the technology or the product. And a highly technical and scientific sale to another scientist, you still need to be able to break down in basic concepts and basic language what it is that you do and why it's important, because that scientist has a boss who approves a budget, and that boss reports to someone who's probably not a scientist, and even if they are a scientist, their shareholders are not scientists, and the analysts may be scientists but not really. You really have to kind of break it down, and I find that in my career of selling very technical either software or deep tech or semiconductor related products, that if you break it down, this is my feature set and this is my price. It's really not a challenging sort of thing to work on, and also it's probably not as cool. And I think I have the best job in the world. I wouldn't trade it for any other job, because it's just we're using AI to make drugs, man. I mean, that's really really cool. Sorry, I swore. Is that okay? But it's really really cool, and I think it's probably the coolest thing that I could be working on. But it's just been a series of sort of accidents and bad decisions and some good decisions.